We have another DraftKings Sportsbook NBA playoff slate breakdown. I'm Matt Kowalis. I'm the admin of Detroit Sports Bettors. And if you haven't checked us out, we are now on Facebook with Detroit Sports Bettors. All you have to do is send us a request. We will gladly accept you, and then you will become a member of this awesome group, basically for Michigan sports gambling and everywhere. We've been getting people from beyond Detroit, and we give plays and we give information. We try and educate. And this is a completely free Facebook page. And then in addition to that, we have Detroit Bettors on Twitter, which just the other day, I released a three-game parlay, which hit. It was 6-1. So congrats to those who hit that. We give plays almost every single day. We try and do our best. And again, thanks to DraftKings, they're giving me the opportunity and ability to give you guys more and more plays. So that's what we're trying to do. I always want to give you guys the best information possible. I do my time, I do my research, and if you watch the last YouTube video, we went 8-1. So that was pretty awesome. Good start to the YouTube series. I believe that makes us 12-5 so far. And a lot of people send me some parlays with that. So it's really cool. And again, I'm trying to explain to you why I'm making these plays on top of just giving picks. So then you kind of generate an understanding for how I view games and maybe how you can view games as well. So for starters, today, the Milwaukee Bucks are again at Miami. I believe that was a +5 spread, and that was one I just kind of wanted to stay away from. If I was going to go anywhere, it was going to be Miami and the under, but I liked the Duncan Robinson. I did give some plays on Facebook. That game's going on right now, so you really can't do anything with it. But I did give some plays on Facebook in the group, and I said Duncan Robinson over 12.5 points, and I said over 3.5 threes. No clue how that's going right now. I hope it's doing good, obviously. But the reason I went there was because the Miami Heat have really been struggling to score the basketball. Jimmy Butler is not someone who goes and scores a ton of points. He's not a 25-point per game guy, but he counts on assists. He counts on rebounds. He's a team guy. As you guys know, he plays good D. Then you have Bam as well. Yeah, Bam can go get you 20, but it's not an every game thing. The guy that I think they're going to be counting on is Duncan Robinson. Not necessarily counting on, but more so trying to get him going. They need his threes. They need his offense, especially with the way Tyler Herro's been playing. Another person that I could have potentially pivoted to was Dragic. I would have liked to. I think they might count on him for a little more offense today. But again, I have no clue what's going on right now. I had some stuff to do this morning, and I'm getting this video out to you guys. So let's pivot right to the next game, which is the Denver Nuggets against the Portland Trail Blazers. That is currently a -5 Portland spread. This game is at 440, I believe. But right now, I like Denver +5. That's a lot of points to give Denver. The public is heavy on Portland currently. And again, I just think they've had some trouble stopping Jokic. Michael Porter Jr. has been relatively quiet. And again, he's been guarded by like Norman Powell. So he has a huge, there's a huge height discrepancy there. And he's a guy that he's a spark plug. He can get going just like that. He's the definite number 2 with Jamal Murray out. Which again, that's also why I like the over at 227.5. And then my last play for that one that I really like is Michael Porter Jr. over 21.5 points. In his last 15 games, he's hit that 9 times. Again, there's a huge height discrepancy between himself and Norman Powell. As long as he's running the 3, even if he's running the 4, it'd be Robert Covington. So yes, still a big height discrepancy there. So I like him to be aggressive and attack the basket here. And then, again, Jokic has been doing so much that he might need a break, or he could just potentially be slightly off today. And then you're going to need Michael Porter Jr. to pick it up from there. Then, going on to the Philadelphia 76ers against the Washington Wizards. So they're in Washington, but this is a tougher game to really pick right now. Damn. Just because Russell Westbrook had an ankle sprain. And we don't exactly know how many minutes he's going to get, if he's even going to play. He's questionable. Without Russ, I would definitely be on the 76ers -6.5, 100%. I mean, it's too tough not to, just because then you're going to have Ben Simmons on Bradley Beal most likely the entire time. And then Tobias, the number 2, becomes Rui Hachimura, which Tobias Harris can guard him. And then Embiid can also kind of float because you're not worried about Alex Len or really Daniel Gafford. And then Embiid is tall enough where he's just going to toss away alley-oops. You know what I mean? So, and then a lot of their bench players, they're just good defensively all over for the most part, the 76ers. But if Russell Westbrook were to play, yeah, that might change some things for me because those two just provide so much energy, so much spark from the get-go, just how Russ plays. You know, if he throws down one of those one-handed dunks, whatever. So if those two were to play, yeah, I would be on the Wizards plus 6.5. So that one, again, it's a little tougher to tell you guys what to play there just because I don't have all the information. I think that might be released closer to tip-off. So it's something that you should pay attention to going forward. Either way, the 76ers minus 278 money line, I'd be all over that. That's something you can just add to and make a parlay out of it or whatever you'd like. I like the Jazz later on. So I think those two you could combine together to create a nice money line, get some decreased odds. So regardless if Westbrook plays or not, I still like the 76ers to win that game. They're just too tough. Embiid is a huge mismatch for anyone in the league. Tobias Harris can go off. Simmons can't really go off, but he plays great D. He's a very good team player. So, again, I'd be with the 76ers across the board no matter what. Other than Beal, Westbrook, and Hachi, there's just not much. Like Raul Neto, like, okay, he's had a good year. He's had a good year, but come on, can't do that. So then going into the last game of the day for the Saturday slate, that will be the Utah Jazz against the Memphis Grizzlies at Memphis. So they're moving to Memphis now, and that spread is currently at -5 for Utah at -114 on DraftKings. Then it is the over/under is 224 at -113 on DraftKings. Okay, for that one, I'm going right to the Jazz. -5 with Utah. Donovan Mitchell coming back. It's just such a big boost. This is a guy that can go give you 40. This is a guy who has so much energy, can throw it down. He can give you the assists. He plays good defense. And this team is so deep. Now Jordan Clarkson doesn't have as important of a role to try and get 20. He can come off the bench and he can just go with the flow. You still have Michael Conley, Bojan Bogdanovic. You have Rudy Gobert. You have Joe Ingles. You have Niang, whatever I forget his first name. But this is a good team. They're deep. They're disciplined. They're well coached. I like the Jazz -5 here. And then I also like the over 224. If the Jazz are scoring on Memphis, yeah, a lot of people like the Jazz. The Jazz defensively have been the top 5 team, but they're still one of those teams who can give up plenty of points. If they score high, if they get closer to like the 125 or something like that, then yeah, I would expect Memphis to get like a 113 or somewhere in that range. So I like this to go over the 224. And a reason that I like this to go over the 224 is because of the addition of Donovan Mitchell. You are adding a 25 point per game guy back to the lineup. So you need to input those points as well. So again, because of that, I like Donovan Mitchell over 24.5 points tonight. That's -113 on DraftKings. And if you can remember last year, there was a stretch where this guy was putting up 30, 35, 40 a game in the playoffs. So 24.5 shouldn't be bad for him. I expect them to start ramping his minutes back up to maybe the 32 minutes per game. And then again, this is Donovan Mitchell. If this game is remotely close, coming down to it, he's going to advocate for himself to stay in that game. You know, this happens all the time. I think they gave him a lengthy rest for a reason. So when he came back, he would just be 100% full go. Okay. So those are going to be my plays for the Utah game. That's going to be Utah -5 over 224.5 and Donovan Mitchell over 24.5. Now, to recap the end of the video, I'm going to give you all the plays in one. That was Denver +5 over 227.5. and Michael Porter Jr. over 21.5. Then moving to the Wizards game, that one I like the over 228, regardless. And the Wizards money, not Wizards, I'm sorry, 76ers money line at -278. There's just too many moving parts there to give you guys a line. And then the Westbrook thing that could affect the over under there too. So be weary about that. If he were to sit out, it could go under because of that. So just keep that in mind. So that one, it's tougher to give a play, but my main one would just be the Sixers money line. But as you get closer to tip off, take some of the information I gave you and maybe adjust accordingly. Okay. And then to finish it off, Utah -5, over 224, Donovan Mitchell over 24.5. Okay. So this is another edition of the DraftKings Sportsbook NBA Playoff Slate Breakdown. All right, I'm Matt Kowalis from Detroit Sports Bettors. Please give our pages a look. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you've been successful. I mean, we went 8-1 on the last video. If you want anything, you can at least give me a thumbs up or a subscribe. We're trying to grow the Detroit Sports Bettors brand, the group, everything. Okay, again, that's Detroit Sports Bettors on Facebook. That's Detroit Bettors on Twitter. And then we do have a Discord and everything like that too. Like this group has a little bit of everything. So if you go to the Facebook page and you want to join and you want to get in the Discord, just make a post or feel free to DM me, anything like that, and I'll get you in there. All right, guys. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Let's win some money. Hopefully I get you guys some beers, some White Claws, whatever. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good week.